But that's the position we get ourselves into. And what the sinful nature is this. This is it. See? It's, this should have come this way, the life should have come that way. In fact, it's going back up that way. We're trying to suck from the world the love or the security or significance or happiness that we were meant to get from God. And so our whole nature is working the wrong way. And that's why, haven't you tried to trust God at times? Especially when things have gone wrong in your life, a financial disaster, or something bad in your own vocation, and suddenly you've just thrown your hands up, or the death of your mum or dad, and you've thrown your hands up and you've said, everything's finished. And you've trusted God, you remember, for about a day or 2 days. And then you know what happens. The nature takes over again. The old sinful nature. The way your body works and your soul works and your spirit doesn't work, that has taken over again, and you've slipped back into that. And so you cry out again and again, the good that I would, I cannot do. And you find yourself depending. How often have you tried to stop worrying about your bank account? How often have you tried to stop worrying about the finances? And you know you do. You try. And we talk, about let's trust God for them, and you try to trust Him. And you find yourself slipping back into, oh yeah, well, 2 from 4 leaves 2, and 3 from 6, yeah, so I have that amount left, and I have this amount to pay next week. You slip into it. Because it's the nature. Your sinful nature won't let you trust God. And loved ones, that's why the event occurred that is described in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 24. It's the one that provides that title for Steinbeck's novel, you remember. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 24. It's page 3. He, God, drove out the man, and at the east of the Garden of Eden He placed the cherubim and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. What does it mean? God saw that He had made us eternal, and He had made us in a position where we could take of the tree of life if we wanted to. We could take of the Holy Spirit, and we could continue to live forever. And if He allowed us to do that with this nature that we had developed, we would turn the whole universe into a hell. We would fly from planet to planet, and from Milky Way to Milky Way, from solar system to solar system, and we would suck the whole world into pleasing us and doing what we wanted. And if 5 billion of us got into the universe doing that, soon the universe would be absolute anarchy and chaos, filled with selfish people who are trying to get from the universe what they could only get from their Maker. And so God, to protect the universe, and indeed to protect us, cut us off from the Holy Spirit and withdrew the Holy Spirit from us, so that our own spirits actually died. That's what happened. Our own spirits actually died. And so that's why many of us have no spirit. From time to time, Jeannie Dixons and spiritualists seem to have a live spirit. But it's a live spirit to the evil spirits in the universe. It isn't alive to God's spirit. Most of us, our spirit is dead completely. Most of us, if we try to find ourselves, we can't find ourselves. Some of us say that, I can't find myself. We can't find ourselves because we've lost ourselves becoming clowns, pleasing people, or trying to satisfy our own needs. We are now slaves to the world so that we hardly can remember who we are. And loved ones, you know that. You know that sometimes, late at night in bed, you think, what have I become? Some of us can't even ask that. Some of us just say, who am I? Who am I? What would I really be like if I could be what I wanted to be? That's why we say our spirits are dead. We've lost the sense of our own identity, of who we are, because we have no longer contact with our Father, and we operate from our bodies up through our souls. And that's the way we live. When do our emotions go up? When we've had a nice meal. Our tummy feels comfortable, so our emotions, oh, I feel happy. Or the sun shines, spring comes early to Minnesota, so whoopee, I feel great. But if it's rainy and cold and snowy, I feel down. So we're at the mercy, we're like little puppets, you know, that are played with. It's the same with our bosses. They smile at us, so we're pleased. We have a wonderful day. It's so dumb. The boss will die in a couple of years, and I don't know where our happiness will be then. But it's like that. We're like little animals, you know, that are utterly dominated by the outside physical world. And loved ones, that's why so many of us come into times of darkness and despair. And so at times we waken up in the mornings with an inexplicable sense of fear and imminent disaster. And we don't know why. Because we're living in the body or we're living in the soul. And so we're utterly dominated because we're living from the outside in and not from the inside out.